Why do most people never change? Not because they lack dreams, not because they don't try, but because something quiet, something almost invisible, holds them in place, year after year after year. They promise themselves that this time will be different, and for a while it is. Then slowly, like water returning to its level, they settle back into exactly who they were before. We are taught that change is a matter of effort. Try harder, want it more, push through. So we gather our willpower, grit our teeth, and force ourselves forward. But willpower is a fire, and every fire burns out. When motivation fades, when life grows heavy again, we drift back toward the familiar, and we call ourselves weak. Yet weakness was never the problem. The problem is this: we try to change what we do without ever changing who we are. More than a century ago, a small book warned that this is the oldest error of all. We'll see why in a moment, but first, a story. There was once a traveler who spent his life in the shadow of a great mountain. Beyond that mountain, people spoke of a city of light unlike anything in the valley below. Every spring he made the same vow. This year he would cross the mountain. This year he would finally reach the city he had dreamed of his entire life. He packed his bag, tightened his boots, walked to the place where the path began to climb, and there he stopped. The mountain was steep, the future uncertain. The village behind him was warm, familiar, and safe. So he whispered the oldest promise of all: next year I will be ready. And he turned home. The fire was waiting, the bread was warm, and the mountain stood where it had always stood, patient, silent, unchanged. Spring after spring, the same vow, the same preparation, the same turning back. The path never grew steeper, only the traveler grew older. On his final spring, a child asked him about the city beyond the mountain. The old man opened his mouth to describe it and realized he had spent his entire life speaking of a place he had never seen. The mountain was never the obstacle. The cold was never the obstacle. The traveler never changed his life because he was never willing to change himself. He longed for the city, but he did not wish to become the kind of person who climbs. He wanted the destination without the transformation the journey would demand. And here is the quiet truth behind nearly every life that never changes. We do not rise to the level of our dreams. We fall to the level of who we believe we are. You cannot build a new life upon an old identity, any more than you can grow new branches from a dying root. Real change does not begin with doing, it begins with becoming. More than a century ago, a quiet Englishman named James Allen wrote a small book about this very truth. As a man thinketh in his heart, he taught, so he is. Circumstance does not make the man, it reveals him. The outer life is only the harvest. The seed always is the self within. And becoming begins with reflection. The wise have always understood this. Before transformation comes reflection. Before achievement comes understanding. Before a new life can emerge, the old story must first be seen clearly. The traveler would first have needed to look honestly inward and ask, why do I keep turning back? What comfort am I protecting? What fear am I calling caution? This is the inner work that precedes every meaningful transformation. For transformation always comes before achievement. This is the lesson hidden within every meaningful journey. First, we reflect, then we transform. Only then can we create something new in the world. So before you ask what you must do differently, ask something deeper. Who would you have to become to live the life you imagine? And what comfort are you still protecting that is keeping you from becoming who you were meant to be?